Hello and welcome back to another video from Tech Spotlight. Guys, today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 recommendations for laptops for college students that are under $600. So if you're going to college and looking for something on a budget, this is a video for you. Let's jump right in. Alright guys, so first up on the list, this is a very budget laptop. So this is something I would recommend for someone who, maybe just needs to write papers, do Excel spreadsheets and things like that. This would not exactly be something I would recommend for someone that's doing much more reliant tasks on hardware like video editing and photo editing and things like that. But this is a HP Stream 14. This is a 14-inch laptop. It does have a Intel quad-core processor. This particular model's got 16 gigs of RAM and a 320 gig storage. And they get to that with a 64 gig multimedia card and a 256 gig fully installed card. These Windows 11 laptops come with 1 year of Office 365, so you do get that added bonus of having that for a year. Also the built-in webcam. One nice feature on this and why I would recommend this for college students is that it boasts that it's got up to an 11-hour of battery life, which is really nice because in college you might not always have access to an outlet to charge a laptop and keep it up. So that is one of the big key points on why I would recommend this one. Of course, also the RAM. The storage is nice. It would be much better if it was an SSD, but again, for 16 gigs of RAM and the long battery life, that's not too bad. You can see this does come in multiple colors as well, so if you do want to make sure that you get one stylized for you, you do have that option. And then based on your budget, you do have options down here as well for a 4 gig RAM, 8 gigs of RAM, and a 16. Now at $270 for this one, the 16 gigs of RAM is really nice on that budget, but obviously you can save some more money. Now this one is the Intel processor that's in this one is the N4120, runs it up to 2.6 gigahertz. So like I said, it's not too bad. Again, this is just something, purely budget. So if you're trying to get started and you just don't have a lot of extra cash, this would be a good way to go. And then some other nice features. It does have the micro edge and anti-glare HD to screen, which is really nice. Having that micro bezel, so that way you're maximizing your screen. And having the anti-glare display is really nice as well, because if you're working in college, you may be in areas that have the fluorescent lighting. You're not going to catch a bunch of glare on the laptop, or maybe you want to go work outside. That gives you that option as well. So let's look a little bit more into this. Okay, so we've already discussed it is the 14-inch. Now the RAM, what it says on here is that 16 gigs of the DDR4. If that is true, that is really nice as well. The Intel UHD Graphics 600, again, just an integrated graphics card. It's just soldered right into the motherboard. But other key points, does have 3 USB 3.0 ports. The battery life, again, 11 hours is really nice. Windows 11 S, and it is pretty lightweight, coming in at 3.24 pounds, which is nice as well. It's not going to weigh a lot on your legs if you're using this literally as a laptop. It's not going to be really heavy and things like that, which again is nice for when you're hauling it around and all that. So again, super budget option. This would be for someone that's just looking for something under that $300 mark that may not be doing anything super demanding on the laptop. So let's check out the next option, guys. All right, guys, so next up on the list is the Lenovo Ideapad 1, and this thing's got a lot of nice specs. Again, some of this I mentioned on the last laptop that I was talking about, but the Lenovo Ideapad 1, 15.6-inch screen. So one nice thing for college is going to give you the numeric keypad. Really nice, especially if you're in doing math classes and things like that. You're going to have that. Basically, your numeric keypad is going to allow you to do calculations on the calculator app that you can pull up. Other than that, full HD screen. This does have a dual-core processor, 12 gigs of RAM, and biggest bonus, it has a 512 gig SSD Plus comes with a 128 gigabyte multimedia card, as well as the 1-year Office 365, and it also has Windows 11 Home pre-installed. This one only comes in gray, which is fine. I like how the gray looks. And you do have options down here for, less storage if you're on a super budget, or if you want to get, more storage and RAM, you do have those options as well. So I always recommend when you're on here shopping, just look for whatever makes it in your budget. If you have to sacrifice a little RAM or a little storage to get in the budget, I get it, but it is nice to have that option. So again, this is the Lenovo Ideapad 1, comes in gray. Let's go down here and see some more about it. This has the Intel Celeron N4500, so a decent little upgrade compared to the last laptop that we looked at. The Intel processors are really, really nice. I feel like Intel's stepped the game up quite a bit the past several years. So let's check out more details. Alright guys, so same integrated graphics card, so not going to do any super high demand things when it comes to graphics. So that is going to limit you in terms of playing games, because you're not going to have the graphics capability and things like that. But some of the other things are definitely nice. Again, we are talking about laptops for college, so I'm trying to focus more on just what you can do on the laptop. This one has one USB 2.0 port and two USB 3.0 ports. Comes in at 3.42 pounds. Not much info on here about the battery life, but I want to pull up just to see here. All right, so I did a little bit more research into this laptop, and with there being several different models, this laptop boasts right around the 9-hour mark, give or take a little bit, on total battery life from a full charge to depleted with the average use. So if you're looking for something at $350 or less, this would be an excellent option, okay? So let's check out the third option. All right, guys, so things are ramping up a little bit. Next, we got the HP Essentials 255 G9 laptop. This is a 15.6 inch. This is equipped with the AMD Ryzen 3 processor. This also comes with 32 gigs of RAM, a 1 terabyte solid state drive, built-in webcam is in the dark ash silver, and this thing for the money is honestly pretty sick. I mean, for a little bit more, it would be nice to get the AMD Ryzen 5, even if it raised the price anywhere from $50 to maybe $80. That would still be a really, really good deal, considering you get a 1 terabyte SSD and the 32 gigs of RAM. But you will see down here that you do have other options as well if you want less RAM or more RAM to keep it in your budget. And the Ryzen 3 processor is really nice. That's what this laptop I'm using right now actually runs, and it actually does things pretty well. So the AMD Ryzen 3 is a quad-core processor. It's got 8 threads, runs up at from 2.7 up to 4.1 gigahertz if you overclock things if you need it. And you get one USB-C 3.2. You get 2 USB Type A's. Obviously the power adapter and HDMI port, the headphone port and everything. But this laptop is nice and sleek. I mean, honestly, if I were looking for one right now, this would be a great contender for the uses that I have. But you get a USB-C right on your left-hand side, the HDMI, then your Ethernet port. And then on the other side, you get your two USB-A ports, and then your power supply. You got that nice micro edge and everything. I like how that silver looks. This one honestly needs to be something on my radar, to be quite honest with you. So 32 gigs of DDR4 memory at 3200 megahertz. That's DDR4. Integrated graphics card has got the AMD Radeon graphics. Comes in at 3.84 pounds. Has Windows 11 Home pre-installed. And again, not a lot of information on the battery life on this. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to check into this real quick. Alright guys, so I just pulled up the digital owner's manual for this laptop, and they boast a battery life up to 10 hours 15 minutes. So if you're looking for a laptop right around the $500 range or less, you can get up to 10 hours battery life, which is really, really, really good, especially on this particular model. Just for instance, boasting the RAM that you get to the storage and then the 10 hours battery life, very, very, very good value for what you're getting here. Between the AMD Ryzen 3, the RAM, the solid state drive, the battery life, that I would rate my personal favorite on this list, to be quite honest with you. I'm a big HP fan when it comes to laptops. I just am. But this one's an excellent value. So if you want one, make sure you check it out. All right, guys. So next one on the list, we got the HP 255 G8. This is very, very similar, but you're getting some of the upgrades that I mentioned like before. So you got the 15.6-inch screen, you got the numeric keypad, you get the AMD Ryzen 5 processor, 32 gigs of RAM on this one, 1 terabyte SSD. You get a SD card reader, HDMI input, Windows 11 Home. This is also in the dark ash silver. Very, very similar to the G9 that we just took a look at. So, but with the big upgrade being you get the AMD Ryzen 5 processor. So this is where you're going to get into the being able to do, you know, much more video editing, photo editing, you know, much more demanding processes that you may need to do depending on what you're going to school for. And this coming in normally, if it's not on sale, just under the $600 mark. But again, those upgrades that you're getting, well worth that extra cash. So let's see. So DDR4 RAM, the AMD Ryzen 5 processor. It's a 6-core processor. This would just be something if you want to know that you're going to have enough, you know, power to do whatever you need to do, doing multiple things at once, having multiple tabs open, things like that. The AMD Ryzen 5 runs at up to 4 gigahertz, 32 gigs of the DDR4 RAM, the AMD integrated graphics card. This comes in at 3.64 pounds. And again, I'm going to check into the battery life on the HP 255 G8. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, so I just got this pulled up. So based on the search result from AMD on the HP 255 G8, this boasts up to 7 hours and 45 minutes battery life, most likely due to the nature that the AMD Ryzen 5 processor, that additional RAM, and everything's going to be pulling a little bit more kilowatt hours. So you'll be sacrificing a little bit of battery life for much more power. So between this and the G9, you can make the call on which one makes more sense for you. But again, if you want that additional raw power, knowing you're going to be able to throw anything at this and it's going to be able to handle it, this is a great value as well. So on to the last one here, guys. All right, guys, so this is HP's newest 15.6-inch laptop. This is an essential business laptop. It's equipped with an Intel Core i5 processor, 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage. It's also equipped with the Intel Iris Xe graphics card, as well as you get the SD card reader, Windows 11 Pro. So many, many pros with this one. And then down here, you can also see that you can look at more storage or RAM, depending on the budget. You can also switch between the AMD Ryzen 5 and the Intel i5 processor. I do really like the Intel. I feel like their processors have done very, very well. And I've even seen from like the Intel Core i3 to the AMD Ryzen 3, you can do a little bit more with the Intel. Now, let's dig into this one just a little bit more. So you get the Intel Core i5 that runs up to 4.2 gigahertz. Again, the Intel Iris Xe graphics card is nice. You get 2 USB 2.0 ports, 1 USB 3.0. Does come in at 5.64 pounds. So this is a bit heavier when you're going to be working on it. So, you know, at 5 pounds may not seem like much, but if you're sitting there for hours on end doing work and this is sitting on your lap, it's going to get hot. It's going to get heavy. This may be more better suited for if you have a desk available because of the weight, but may not be a big deal to everybody. And so, guys, this comes in just at $600. So if you prefer the Intel over the AMD and you want the newest HP, with 32 gigs RAM and everything, this is a great option as well. Alright guys, thank you for joining me for another video from Tech Spotlight. Today we talked about the 5 laptops that I would recommend for someone who's going to college. These laptops range anywhere from the mid $200 to the $600 range. So depending on everything that you need it for, you've got different budgets that you can try to fit these laptops into and still handle everything that you need for school. So let me know if you have any additional questions down in the comments as well. If you already have one or are picking one up, let me know what one you're getting. I'd love to find out exactly what you have and why you like it and your direct feedback on it as well. So again, this was a video from Tech Spotlight. You guys have an amazing day. I'll see you in the next video.